Well, hi there. This is Ron Rogers, and this is to my faithful small group of people who like to watch my biplane flying. And also, an interesting question came up of what is a standard pattern, and I will discuss that because we had a little incident in the pattern, so to speak.
Okay, here we go. Good audio there. Yep, gonna go out and do some flying. And may see if I can get some patterns in here. If, there's another airplane up there. Well, it was quiet for a while. We've had a lot of fires from Canada, so it's a little hazy. The sky is not quite as clear as we like, or I would like, or anybody would like. But the program for today is patterns and acro, and maybe just a little sightseeing too, just for fun. We'll see.
Well, as you probably guessed, we're taking off to the east today, runway 08, so that's a longer taxi in the Great Lakes or anything else.
I was reading Frank Tallman's old book, or his book, Flying the Old Airplanes, and he's just a Hollywood air show type legend guy, and talks about flying. They built a replica of the Spirit of St. Louis.
6 Charlie Bravo, send the teardrop, entering the left down on runway 8, Lake and Hills.
Because the real one's, of course, in the Smithsonian, and they're not letting anybody fly that anymore. So, they built a replica, and he talks about, lack of forward visibility, stuff like that. Well, this airplane, it's like, compared to that, I don't feel so bad that I can't see forward very well. I have to do clearing turns. I kind of wondered, why didn't they put the fuel tank behind him a little bit so he could get a slot to see forward? And basically, it was because Lindbergh said that he didn't, in case of a crash, want
Lake in the Hills, traffic,
fuel tank.
Charlie Bravo's left down on runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
A fuel tank behind him, which makes a lot of sense. 36-hour endurance it's had, 400 and I think 32 gallons or something like that.
432, Echo Romeo departing runway 8 to west, Lake in the Hills.
Okay. I'll get up here and do the route, check a few things. All right, 293 was the altimeter setting. I got the one altimeter, my G5 set to that. And I've got the other altimeter, I have altimeters. And the other altimeter is set to zero field elevation, so let's bring it up. Holding the stick back, of course, bring it up to 1800 RPM. There we go. Right mag looks good. Left mag looks good. Top works.
Lake in the Hills traffic, 636 Charlie Bravo is turning left base for runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
Oh, I got plenty of time to get off. Lake Hills traffic, Great Lakes November 727 Kilo Romeo biplane departing runway 08, staying in the pattern, Lake in the Hills. All right, here we go. That guy's going to be clear. Not like I'm in the 310. I'm not going to catch him. All right, tail up at 35 miles an hour. Okay, we're above 60, and flies off. Okay, gain a little bit of airspeed here.
Lake in the Hills traffic, 636 Charlie Bravo is turning final for runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
100 miles per hour. And coming up into close downwind. Okay, back to my normal climb speed of 75. And I always need back trim. I must be heavy or something. Takeoff trim just doesn't work for me. Flight Hills traffic, Great Lakes 727 Kilo Romeo left down and runway 08, Lincoln Hills. All right, now it's 70 degrees, but of course you go up in altitude to get cooler. All right, there that guy is.
Papa, turning on final for runway 02.
Well, of course, the pattern started to get crowded, you know, and we've got, we got three types of patterns here at Lake in the Hills, and I'll explain that.
All right, he's touching down.
Traffic, Cherokee 13, Quebec, 4 mile final runway 26, full stop, Dixon.
Somebody else out there. Lake Hills traffic, Great Lakes 727 Kilo Romeo left base, runway 08, touch and go, Lake in the Hills. All righty. I think I'll do a wheel landing here.
Okay, now if you've been following my videos, you know I tend to fly a little bit of a tight pattern, a biplane pattern, or what you might also call a commercial syllabus type of pattern, where it's 180 degree idle power come around and land. That's required for the
Still got to add a little power.
6 Charlie Bravo's clear runway 8.
Oh, he's going to stay in the pattern, okay. Okay, that's good enough power coming back in.
Burlington traffic, experimental November 925, Echo November, 10 miles to the west, inbound for landing, runway 29er.
And up we go again.
Lake in the Hills Airport. VFR Automated Weather Advisory. Wind 090 at 7. Visibility missing. Temperature missing. Dew point missing. Altimeter 299 Condensation altitude missing.
Well, that's what I need to do not to run out of airspeed, is just start the pattern a little bit above 500 feet. But I like a nice low pattern. I'll get, let's go up to 700 feet. This should actually work.
Lincoln Hills traffic 636, Charlie Bravo's taking off runway 8, staying in the pattern. Left traffic. Lincoln Hills.
All right. Now he's kind of screwing that up. Lake Hills traffic, Great Lakes River 727 Kilo Romeo, close in left base, runway 08, touch and goes, Lake Hills.
Now this is where the whole pattern thing starts to be interesting. At 6 Charlie Bravo tries to be too nice in the pattern, let's almost say that, and it gets I guess the ire of somebody else here. You'll hear it in a second.
Burlington traffic, experimental 925, Echo November, 5 miles to the west, inbound for landing, runway 29er, Burlington.
Yep, that extra altitude gives me the extra energy. I think I'll do a full stall landing this time. Nah, need a little bit of power.
Great Lakes 6 Charlie Bravo, what's your speed in the downwind?
75. What's yours?
We fly 90. I just wanted to make sure that you would have enough space behind me.
So this is kind of interesting. I mean, why does he generally care? Because I'll take my spacing behind him for his pattern. No problem.
Oh, another one coming out. Oh.
Great Lakes, if you could extend your upwind by a couple seconds, I think that would help out with the spacing. I'm going to be a touch and go, and then the next lap I'm going to do a full stop taxi back.
Okay.
Well, I'd already start my turn, but I'm not worried about it. He's faster, I'm slower. I can just give him more latitude, and I'll come in behind him. I mean, I'll have to stretch out my pattern, but that is what happens here.
Flight Hill, Charlie, Great Lakes, 7 kilo 1 go, left down on runway 08, Lake in the Hills.
Lake in the Hills, 6 Charlie Bravo is also left down on runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
Burlington traffic, 5 Echo November, crosswind runway 29er Burlington will be entering downwind for runway 29er Burlington.
Okay, I have 6 Charlie Bravo in sight, 172. I'm behind him, no problem. I'll just follow him, not anticipating any issues at all.
Great Lakes, do you want me to go around and let you go first?
Oh, if you don't mind, I'll just shoot one more pattern then and be gone.
Alright, I'm going around down and climbing back up to 1900, and I'll deviate to the right, 6 Charlie Bravo.
Well, you don't actually have to go around. I'm turning base now. If you want to turn base, you'd be fine behind me.
No, you go, 6 Charlie Bravo.
Or you could just fly normal patterns.
Okay, that was just kind of a stupid, unidentified comment, but what I really should have done was just told the guy to fly his pattern, I'll fly behind him, but I can easily fly patterns inside of the normal blue sky pattern, which is a large pattern, and it causes consternation about everybody else who flies out of this airport because they fly huge extended patterns, 2-mile finals, when there's absolutely no need for that, and it just messes up the traffic pattern. So there are 3 patterns here at Lake in the Hills: a normal pattern, the blue sky pattern, and biplane patterns. All right, so one more pattern here. Decided to get out of the area. One nice full stall landing. This one worked fairly well. I didn't bounce back up into the air, but it was time to get out. Now, I mentioned the deal about the patterns here, and I had a commercial student. Of course, one of the things you do in the commercial curriculum, among a number of things, is you do the 180-degree power off idle approach. And I said, you know, I flew out of Lake in the Hills, and he just wanted to have nothing to do with Lake in the Hills. I guess he had a bad experience at one of the schools here or something. But he says, you know, with these huge patterns, it just wastes time. You can't fly a decent pattern. You certainly can't fly a commercial type of pattern. Because trying to get the 180 degree, I have to get it in here whenever I can, where I fly my nice power off landings. Because when I learned to fly, the deal was when you come into the pattern, you should be able to glide to your touchdown point. Because if you lose the engine, you're not going to make it to the runway. So the point was, okay, if the engine quits, you can make it to the runway because you're always in a position to do that. So that's how I like to fly patterns, and that's a good way to teach it. Things happen fast, but you know, you don't need to be logging cross-country time with your flight instructors in a pattern that just messes everything up. And it's unfortunate because it just makes it so difficult to fly a decent pattern here. So I try to get in between the student groups, and usually I can get a few patterns in here. And this the guy in the 172 was you know, being super nice. I should have just told him to fly his pattern, but you know, it is kind of a sore point for those of us who fly out here that aren't students, and I think they're really doing a disservice. Here's my soapbox. I think they're doing a disservice to the students by having these extended patterns. I mean, I can fly 3 patterns in the time they fly one. You could get a lot more instruction in, but that's the way they choose to run the school. But here we are coming up on Crystal Lake, and I was down kayaking yesterday, and actually since I've done this video and went flying here, I came back and I just got done kayaking again. And last night I was accused by the Lake Safety Patrol of violating the no-wake speed, and in my kayak I technically was, because no wake is 5 miles per hour, and I was going over 5 miles per hour, and it's not the first time I've been laughingly accused. They're not serious. They didn't write a ticket of exceeding the no-wake speed in my kayak. But I have a lot of fun and a lot of boats on the lake. It was a busy, busy day, and it wasn't that warm. Oh, and pardon me, I forgot to say, but I digress. All right, so a quick little tour of the lake here, and then going to head on and do some acro. It's summer's getting ready to start here on June 1st, and we've already had one concert with the pontoon boat at Main Beach, and we're going to go Tuesday for another one, barbecue on the boat. It'll be fun.
Traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, departing on runway 8, staying in the pattern, Lake in the Hills.
Lake in the Hills, traffic 6 Charlie Bravo, is left crossing, staying in the pattern, Lake in the Hills.
Lake in the Hills, Centurion 0 Charlie Echo, lining up on 8, Lake in the Hills. All right, let's go out west.
Lake in the Hills traffic, 636 Charlie Bravo is turning left downwind, runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
Not quite sure why that guy wanted to give me the pattern. I mean, I could have followed him just fine. I mean, I would get to fly my normal type pattern, but it would work. Departing 8, right turn out, leaving the area to the southwest, Lake in the Hills. All right, we'll get some altitude. I'm going to start out with just the standard loop and rolls and stuff like that.
Monroe traffic, 759 Alpha Papa on left downwind for runway 02 Monroe.
Lake in the Hills traffic, 636 Charlie Bravo is turning left base, runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
Lake in the Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, turning left crosswind, runway 8, Lake in the Hills. Alrighty, there's 2,000 feet. Traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, turning left, downwind, runway 8, Lake in the Hills. That's amazing. While I was pre-flighting, there was nobody in the pattern, and then it gets busy. Okay, boost pump coming on for Acro. Getting my entry altitude around 2,500. Got my busy road here. 125 miles an hour. For my entry for the loop. All right, clear the area, both on ADS-B and visually looking good. Okay, nose coming down for entry airspeed. Here we go. Yeah, 125, coming in on the G, a little light on the G, checking the wingtip. Lake in the Hills, Centurion 0 Charlie Echo, 3 miles south of the field, final call, Lake in the Hills. Okay, let's do a roll here. Yeah, I tried to 0G it, that didn't work well. Let's bring her back here. Okay, I got a little bit better placement here. Let's go back into a loop. Still a little light on the entry pool here. Okay, coming on in, getting back on the G. Okay, let's get some more altitude here. Westbound traffic, Warrior 41967 departing to the west, westbound.
Monroe traffic,
Lake in the Hills traffic, 636 Charlie Bravo is clear, runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
2 Monroe traffic.
Lake in the Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, turning final, runway 8, Lake in the Hills. I'll see some of that on quickly. Pivot. Alright, I'm showing the guy nearby.
Yeah, did we do a couple like practice approaches or like on-nav approaches to, I think it was Doc.
And
which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, looks clear. Let's do a hammerhead.
That's beautiful.
Airspeed, left wing was a little low. Coming on through, not bad. Okay, hold it for a second. Bring the G back in. Hold it for a second. Let's go back on up. Oh, entry airspeed coming back on up. Let's try another aileron roll. Heels on the horizon. Bring her on over. Oh, there we go.
Lincoln Hills traffic.
That's better.
6 Charlie Bravo is taking run.
Hey, let's do another hammerhead. Getting back in the direction I want. Okay, come on in. Still a little light on the G. 2.7 instead of 3. Say hello to Delta going by. Alright.
Lincoln Hills traffic.
Back into another hammerhead.
Staying in the pattern. Lincoln Hills.
Runway 0.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo. Clear runway 8, Lincoln Hills.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, 2.9G. Okay. Get low altitude again. Clear the area.
Register contact 655 Hotel left. Stay for runway 13 left.
That's not that easy with the smoke. Not too bad. All right, neck light on line. Let's do a demo in here. That's a 130 entry. There we go. 3G. Okay. Right on the 3G. Now don't stop it too high. Okay, hold it there now. Okay, there we go. Slow roll out. Yeah, not too bad. Let's do a hammerhead.
Charlie.
Altitude's good. Entry airspeed, up we come. Up to vertical. All right, yeah, I think I started over low too. Yeah. Got too much airspeed, but that works. There we go. Nose down. Let's pull her back on in. Get my entry airspeed. Altitude's good. One more.
Lincoln Hills 6 Charlie Bravo.
There we go. Okay. Bring her on around. Yeah, that's where it's really sluggish. Nose down. Hold the line. Okay, let's bring her back up. Now we get some more altitude.
Traffic and Monroe, are you continuing pattern work or are you getting off the runways for now? Okay, we're 9.4 to the southeast. We'll plan straight in on 30 at Monroe, 30 Delta.
UX, Lake in the Hills Airport. VFR Automated Weather Advisory. Wind 130 at 7. Visibility missing. Temperature missing.
All right, let's do a cloverleaf.
Altimeter 29 or 903. Condensation altitude.
25.
Lincoln Hills traffic, 636 Charlie Bravo is turning base, left base for runway 8.
Okay, back at my entry airspeed again. Let's do another one.
Lincoln Hills traffic, 2936 November, 6 miles to the north, inbound to landing 08, Lincoln Hills.
Entry airspeed again.
What's your visual location? 10 miles inbound for runway 26.
Right back in. There's entry airspeed. We'll do the one last lead. Not getting the nose up maybe quite as high as I should. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get away from the congested places here.
Traffic 636 Charlie Bravo, turning final, runway 8.
But let's get some altitude. And area's looking clear. Okay.
Cirrus 973.
Gonna get
straight in.
pull in on the road. More or less
Zero.
off to the side.
We're going to be doing full.
And let's get my entry airspeed. There we go for the hammerhead.
Traffic 02936 November on the 45 for left downwind 408 Lake Mills.
Yeah, I'm doing my imaginary pretend line. Okay. Little low in the airspeed, but let's bring her right back up and do another one. Left wing, a little low there. That's all the airspeed I'm going to get out of that one. Back in here again.
42 Whiskey Delta 5.
Let's try another roll.
Private field 2,500. Join the left downwind for full stop 11 Burlington. Lakeville traffic 036 November, turning left downwind 408 Lake in the Hills.
And let's do one more MON.
730 Delta, 2 mile final, 130 full stop, Monroe.
Okay, hold her there. We'll get the roll in. Oh yeah, this is better. That's looking better. Okay, there we go. That was nice. Let's do one more.
Lake and Hills, traffic 6 Charlie Bravo, left cross, one runway 8, Lake and Hills.
All right. Now let's do a split S. Ooh, here we go. Going on over. Come on, bro.
Lake and Hills, 6 Charlie Bravo, turning left.
All right.
Burlington Driver, Skyline 42 Whiskey Delta 3 to the south, overflying midfield, entering the left downwind for a full stop 11 Burlington. Lake Hill traffic 036 November, turning left base for 08 Lake in the Hills.
Base for runway 13.
Well, I think I'll go back in and try to deal with the massive amount of traffic there. See what we can do. All right.
Lake and Hills traffic 02936 November, turning final 08 Lake in the Hills.
Oh yeah, all sorts of airplanes there. I think I'll go over Crystal Lake and then downtown.
Lake and Hills traffic Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, turning left crosswind runway.
If it clears out. It most likely will. Well, 3.5 Gs to minus 0.9. I thought about doing spins, but it was a little cool at altitude, and I'd want to go up higher for those, so I'll just let that go.
Burlington Driver Skyline.
It's getting warmer.
We're right over the top midfield, turning left downwind for 11 Burlington.
Lake in the Hills, traffic 6 Charlie Bravo, left base, runway 8, Lake in the Hills.
Lake and Mills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, turning left downwind, runway 8, Lake and Mills.
A lot of people out on them roads. It wasn't even that warm. Oh yeah, you can see downtown Chicago. Little hazy, but not bad. Not terribly unusual.
Lincoln Hills traffic 636 Charlie Bravo is turning final runway 8 Lincoln Hills.
Lincoln Hills traffic 036 November clear 08 Lincoln Hills. Burlington traffic Skyline 4 Whiskey Delta turning left base 11 Burlington. Lincoln Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo turning left base, runway 8 Lincoln Hills. Burlington traffic, Skyline 4 Whiskey Delta turning short final, full stop 11 Burlington.
A bunch of kids playing soccer.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo turning final, runway 8 Lincoln Hills.
Lincoln Hills 6 Charlie Bravo is clear, runway 8 going to the fuel pump.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, departed runway 8, exit runway 8, Lincoln Hills, clear.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Great Lakes River 727 Kilo Romeo biplane is 2 miles, 2V north, be entering 45 down runway 08 Lincoln Hills. Okay, coming off a cruise, mixture coming up, pop coming up. Okay, I think everybody landed. There's one taxiing back, it looks like.
Monroe traffic, Cessna 1767 Mike is 7.5 miles southeast inbound for 30.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Great Lakes River 727 Kilo Romeo, 45 downwind runway, 08, Lincoln Hills. Lincoln Hills traffic, Great Lakes River 727 Kilo Romeo, left base runway 08, Lincoln Hills. All right, full stall without bouncing back into the air. Here we go.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo departing on runway 8, staying in the pattern, Lincoln Hills.
All right. That will be my last then.
Burlington traffic, Bonanza 4460 Sierra, 9 miles to the north, going to enter the left downwind for runway 11 on the 45.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Great Lakes River 727 Kilo Romeo, bypassing left downwind runway 08, Lincoln Hills.
Traffic, 1767 Mike is 3.4 miles on final, 30.
Lincoln Hills traffic, Great Lakes River 727 Kilo Romeo, biplane left base runway 08, Lincoln Hills. We'll stop. And this will be a wheel landing, extending the roll with a little bit of power. Well, that wasn't too graceful, but what?
Lincoln Hills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, turning left crosswind, runway 8, Lincoln Hills.
All right. That was decent. Lincoln Hills traffic, Great Lakes, November 727 Kilo Romeo is clear of the active runway 08, Lincoln Hills.
Traffic, north, left down to 11.
Lake Mills traffic, Skyhawk 456 Echo Romeo, turning left downwind, runway 8, Lake Mills.
Well, if you stayed with me this long, thanks for watching. It was a beautiful, fun day to fly, and the nice weather is starting, so time to get back in having fun. Thanks for watching. And we are done.
And we are done.